Yeah, hi everyone. Welcome to Know Your Foundation. And today's topic we will see an ternary operator. So, ternary operator, as the name tells, ternary operator, as the name tells, it uses three operands. You know what is an operand, am I right? So, three operands. So, we can also call ternary operator as conditional operator. We can also call it as conditional operator. How we will see. So when I talk about operator, ternary operator is there. So it is nothing but question mark followed by colon. For example, if we want to check largest of largest of two numbers. If you want to check largest of two numbers, that time we can use ternary operator. Three operands. So first one expression or operand, question mark, another expression, colon, another expression. So we have three operands. You can write an expression also. So, for example, if I give A greater than B, if this condition A greater than B is true, then question mark is evaluated. So, if A greater than B, return A. If A greater than B is false, then return B. Colon is evaluated. This is equivalent to conditional operator I said. So, this is equivalent to if A greater than B, then return A, else return B. This is what this ternary operator is going to do. And also, and also we can check largest of three numbers. We can also check largest of three numbers. So we have one expression, question mark, another expression, colon, another expression. But we have to find largest of three numbers, A, B, and C. So first, as usual, we check whether A greater than B. If it is true, where it will go after question mark. So if A greater than B is true, then A or C should be largest. So I check whether A greater than C. If it is true, return A. If it is false, then C is largest. If A greater than B is false, colon is evaluated. If A greater than B is false, then B or C should be largest. So I check whether B greater than C. If it is true, return B, else return C. So this will give largest of three numbers. Now how to check whether a number is even or odd. Same ternary operator we can use, but we want to check whether a number is even or odd. So even it is divisible by 2. Even number it is divisible by 2 we know. Divisible by 2. How to check whether a number is divisible by 2? So we can take the number and modulus 2. When the number is divisible by 2, remainder will be 0. So if num modulus 2, if it returns 0, then it is even number. If it returns other than 0, this condition will fail and then odd. Same even and odd. Same even and odd. How to use bitwise operator and check. How to use bitwise operator and check. For example, we'll take 30. Convert 30 bitwise operator works bit by bit. So convert 13 into binary. We will consider 8 bits. So the most significant bit is 128, 0. After 128, it is 64, then 32, then 16, and then 8, and then 4, and then 2, and then 1. So it is 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. So 8 plus 4, 12, 12 plus 1, 13. So for odd number, okay, for odd number, 13 is odd. For odd number, last bit is 1, and 0 for even number, and 0 for even number. So in this case, we can use bitwise AND. So in this case, we can use bitwise and operator. So 13 and 1. What is 13 bitwise and with 1? 1 means last bit is 1. In 13 last bit is 1. So 1 and 1 is 1. Then it is odd. For example, 12 we will take. What is 12? 128, 64, 32, 16, 8 plus 4, 12. Last bit is 0. What is 12? Bitwise and with 1, it is 0. 0 mean it is even number. So this we have to do it programmatically. So first we include the header file stdio.h for printf and scanf. We include the header file stdio.h. In C language, we include the header file first. Then int main, the entry of our program. Since it is in int main, last statement should be written 0. Or you can use void main, no need to return any value. Int main means main expects and return value. Since it's integer, I return 0. When it returns 0, that means program has successfully executed. If it returns other than 0, then there is an error in our code. So we want to use ternary operator. For example, int a equal to 14 I give, b equal to 16 I give. We want to find the largest of largest of two numbers. So int largest number equal to, so we are going to use ternary operator. So three operands. So if a greater than b, then return a, else return b. Now I print the largest of two numbers. So printf largest of two numbers is percentage d slash n comma largest number. This percentage d will be replaced by this largest number value. This is your format specifier and this is an escape sequence which will print and take you to next line, new line. Slash n means new line. And this will be printed as it is on the console screen. So we'll save the program. So I give Arun underscore ternary and we will save it as C source file. So I have installed GCC compiler. So I go to plugins, npp executive, execute script. This is our npp executive script. I'm changing to current directory and I'm calling GCC minus G this file name. It will store it as a.exe and execute it. So I give OK. You can see the result here. Largest of two numbers is 16. Out of 14 and 16, the largest number is 16 we got. Now how to find the largest of three numbers? So I give CS 45. Now we have to find largest of three numbers. Largest of three number. Again we have ternary. So one expression, question mark, expression, colon, expression. First what we should check whether a greater than b. If it is true, question mark is evaluated. So a greater than b, we know a is largest. Either a or c should be largest. So if a greater than c, then return a, else return c. If a greater than b is false, then b or c should be largest. So I use b greater than c, return b, else c. So this is how to find largest of three numbers. So largest of three numbers is percentage d slash n comma largest of three numbers I am printing. I save it, again I run it. So largest of three numbers is 16. Why? Here we should have written C. not B. So I execute it again. So largest of three numbers is 45. Out of 14, 16, 45, the largest number is 45. Now how to print even or odd? So 45 is odd, 16 is even. So I give B modulus 2 equal to 0. If remainder is 0, then print even. If remainder is not 0, then print odd. Then print odd. I save it. Again, we should run the code. So it is even. B is 16 even. How to use bitwise operator? So B and 1. If last bit is 1, then if last bit is 0, 0 and 1 is 0. For bitwise and both bit should be 1. Then only result is 1. If B is 0, if in B last bit is 0, then it is even. Condition will be true. In that case, print even. See, if last bit is 0, 0 and 1 is 0, 0 double equal 0 is true, print even. Okay, double equal is for comparison, single equal for assignment. Else printf odd win. Else printf odd. I save it. This is how to use ternary operator. Expected colon. Sorry, this is not semicolon. It is colon. Don't give semicolon. It is colon. Okay. Ternary operator. Don't use semicolon. Use colon. But b and 1 equal to 0. It should be even. Why it is printing odd? Anything wrong with it? So b and 1, last bit is 0, 0. Okay, see this bitwise operator, we have to use one bracket. We will see operator precedence in next session. So relational has got highest precedence than bitwise. That's why we got wrong answer. Now even. See, relational operator has got highest precedence than bitwise operator. That is why it gave odd and it failed. Now it is giving even number. This is about ternary operator. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.